vein, and it will help your lordship. He winces in pain. I still cannot believe we survived this. Wise slowly unclenches his hand, and a cloud of frost rises from it, revealing his Aquila, now bound in purple psychic ice. He whispers, the Immaterium has touched it, the holy symbol of the protector of mankind. He pauses, then adds in a gloomy voice, I do not know if this is the symbol of our victory over the horrors of the warp, a trophy claimed in battle, or a grim portent left by the wicked spawn of the Sea of Souls. You can get an ice-covered Aquila. Whenever the wearer suffers a critical hit, the attacker immediately suffers willpower bonus warp damage. A symbol of faith shining through the breath of the Immaterium is a good omen. I shall wear it. Nothing can shake your lordship's spirit. May this Aquila bring you good fortune. I will have a new one delivered to me immediately. He looks at the Aquila with sorrow. If only everything that the Immaterium takes from us was so easy to replace. Okay. Adira, thanks for all the help, you know, sleeping on the floor the entire freaking time. I wonder if you didn't use Adira there, if you get attacked by all that stuff still. I'm guessing you do. But he totally saw fit to, you know, blame her for what happened. Okay. Plasma drive chambers. Get Jay back. Almost done. Frost, buddy, what kind of insulation is that supposed to be? If you kill us, Matthias will drag me back from beyond the grave just to give me an earful. Scrap this and start again. I will double check it. He's a construction foreman. Long pause. Your lordship. The light from the Infernus Master's low stick reveals his surprised but amiable expression. Heinrich's lip is split and a fresh bruise is blossoming on his cheekbone. Lord Captain, didn't expect to see you in this compartment. Are you out on a stroll taking in the sights of your domain? The blue glow of plasma is especially striking at this time of the watch. Is it just the power surging in the bay, or was there a spark between us just now, Heinrich? Jay bites her lip dramatically. Are you serious? Girl, we are here to hunt a monster wearing human skin. Maybe don't flirt with people in this compartment till we figure out who's wearing flesh? Heinrich matches her with a theatrical sigh. Either could start a dangerous fire, Mistress Haydari. Someone could get hurt and we can't let that happen, now can we? You're the most mawkish Infernus I've ever met, Master Montag. A burly man in coveralls furrows his bushy eyebrows. His sparse hair stands on end. Your lordship, welcome. I'm Shift Foreman Nije, in charge of this section. If you need anything, I'm here to help. Infernus Master, what exactly are you doing here? I'm carrying out a routine drive inspection. The regulations require scheduled checks to make sure insulation isn't weakened, the sensors haven't been tampered with, and the reactor isn't about to blow anytime soon. Just business as usual. Lord test succeeded. It is strange that the senior officer is conducting the inspection alone. According to the regulations, there should be an entire squad of Inferni, and the personal presence of the Infernus Master is necessary only in emergencies. Nod at Einar. I wonder if this guy is the monster in human skin, because he was introduced in the DLC. So, he's a suspect. Hang on. Ah! My potatoes. Alright. Heinrich, why are you really here? Found me out, have you? Heinrich gives you a wink and pulls on his low stick. I'm not really here about the reactor. I heard a rumor that you'd gone to investigate the plasma drive chambers, so I thought I'd make sure everything went smoothly. Your lordship is accustomed to associating with people of your rank, or officers at the very least, but here, this place is home to voidfarers of simple manners where clan customs may be unfamiliar to you. The Voidfarer of simple manners furrows his brows. Our customs are decent ones, Master Montag. I'd rather boil myself in plasma than let anything happen to the Lord Captain. No offense, Niji, but if you can't even find 3 people in this bay who can give a report without turning the air blue, I'll gladly admit I was wrong. Heinrich grins at the now silent Niji. You're a good bunch. I'd hate to see you insult his lordship with some foolishness and not realize it. I see. I'm just keeping an eye out, your lordship. Feel free to ask old Niji any questions you may have. He knows his plasma drive chambers like the back of his hand. That's right, your lordship. If something isn't to your liking or if you find anything suspicious, come to me at once. Nod at Heinrich's bruises. How's your face? An enforcer's baton is pretty sturdy, but not as thick as the skull of a hard-boiled infernus. I have to give it to Jocasta. Our enforcers earn their rations. They clobber you good. He's like, you got some good police forces here, sir. They hit me real good. Real good. Nije, have you seen a symbol that looks like a serpent in front of a star? Somebody keeps daubing it on the equipment in bulkheads. If I find the scoundrels, I'll tear their hands off and send them for servitorization. The shift foreman frowns. Is it some kind of sedition? I didn't know. If you see one of these, let me know. We'll try to find these artists. Heinrich rolls his low stick back and forth thinking. I've also seen it on some bulkheads, crates, doors. I just assumed it was the mark of some small clan. Many voidsmen mark their workplaces with family symbols. I want to know more about this bay. We are proud of our chambers. Power feeds the ship's main engine from here. There are other drives on the ship, but ours is the mightiest. That is to say, we do important work. Working with plasma is dangerous, but we have a good crew and not too many incidents. The esteemed tech priests are satisfied with us. The machine spirits are all working as they should. The Inferni don't complain about us either. We fix cracks in the reactor vessel on time, and we fix leaks. Shift foreman, tell me about yourself. What kind of person are you? Nije looks at you in confusion. I'm a voidsman, your lordship. Grew up on Footfall, joined the crew at 14, spent my whole life in this bay. I've raised no family, made no fortune, but I've climbed my way up the ranks. I don't know anything but my trade and this compartment. I am my trade and this compartment, Lord Captain. I must take my leave.
What lies beyond
Okay. We got.
I am registering 137 violations of the Catechism of Maintenance and Operation here. Initializing enumeration. 1. Keep the screw thread as your augmetic eye.
He was about to rattle off 137 violations of code as we entered the room. Heed these words and commit not the transgression of industrial accident. Praise the Omnissiah thrice and only then lay your hand upon the lever. Pull the lever with confidence and restraint, for the machine spirit tolerates no haste. Examine the symbol. You can just make out a faded symbol on one of the tiles, a serpent and a star. There appears to be someone's stash behind it. I couldn't read that before it faded. But the stash has long been abandoned.
Pay attention.
What? Oh, here. Cash note. All the scrap reads is received. Need more. Improvised Weber. Targets hit by this weapon must pass an agility resistance test or become immobilized for 1 turn. It's like shoots a net. A strange weapon was hidden in the cache. The shift foreman should take a look at it. Let's see. Servitor replacement request number 11. Esteemed Tech Priest Deltar, this is unacceptable. For the 10th time, you've sent us the same faulty servitors. It's been over 2 weeks and we still can't raise the lift that's stuck between our platform and platform 92M. All because of your servitors. For the love of the throne, decommission these things if you can't fix them. Respectfully, Shift Foreman Nije. Turn the servitor. With a pitiful clanking sound, the servitor's claw docks with the mechanism and begins to perform necessary manipulations. Wait, so the servitor's doing his work in the air, but he was facing the wrong way? With a pitiful clanking sound, he is done. Okay, that one's done. Okay, I think they're all fixed. Alright, let's show this guy the gun we found. Put your backs into it, lads. The Lord Captain's watching. That brainless slug, what's it doing now? The valve is the other way. Look, it's turning the air again.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Call the lift. What? Is there another servitor that's like messed up right now? There we go. Okay. Tarnished Breacher's Aquila. Enemies within the wearer's area of attack suffer minus 4% dodge, and allies within the wearer's area of attack gain 4% dodge for 1 round. Backpack with armor-piercing ammo. The wearer's ranged attacks inflict 0 levels of bleeding on their target. Wait, what? Wait, what? Stacks with armor penetration. Does Pascal have a cape? No, he's got armor piercing, yeah, 8 bleeding. Okay, interesting.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Ah, Shireen, what fabulous places you take us to. Abandoned ships, foul-smelling back streets, and now a filthy compartment where anyone is welcome to get themselves killed by a conductive charge.
You're welcome. Okay.
Let us see what I found.
Alright, so, Shift Foreman, we found a gun. How goes the search, your lordship? There was an old cache hidden under one of the serpent's symbols. Heinrich chuckles. I think you found someone's secret stash. What was it? A moldy Nutribar, low, a few thrones? Workers often hide their belongings or banned items from the enforcers or covetous neighbors. Maybe someone marked their cache with a symbol to make it easier to find later? That's just what we need, more secret stashes. I hope there was nothing forbidden in it. Forgive me, your lordship. Voidsmen are simple folk. I've been trying to warn them off their grubby habits for years, but give them anything worth having and all they want to do is hide it like in a hole like a rat. Show the note. I found this in one of the caches. What is it? Nije's thick eyebrows knit together angrily, and you almost think you see a power charge jolt between them. We've got smugglers on the loose? Who else could be hiding these strange messages? I'll have them all drawn and quartered on the turbine, I will. Now I'd like to find out what they're smuggling. Mind if I take a look? Heinrich takes the note, careful not to let any ash fall on it. Need more... more what? Whoever wrote it, they didn't want anyone who wasn't in the know to understand. Using caches to exchange messages is a good way to keep things hidden from enforcers. It's how some workers procure intoxicants and other items they're not supposed to have. There has to be another cache somewhere nearby. You never use the same one for both the transfer and the correspondence. Too risky. He gives you a look and shrugs. What? I've never engaged in such business, I swear. I've just heard how it's done. Show the improvised Weber. I found this in a cache marked with a serpent. Nije holds the weapon as if it's going to bite him, sweat beading on his forehead. Machine sparks shake me. A homemade weapon and assembled right in this compartment? The markings are the same as those on local machine parts. This is a very serious matter. It seems someone's plotting a riot and secretly building their own arsenal from scavenged materials right under our noses. Heinrich deftly examines the weapon. Interesting. Nije is right. This could get a whole bay executed. No wonder these scoundrels are so cautious. We need to find and capture whoever set up these caches and hid the weapons. The shift foreman shrugs sheepishly. I tell you the truth, I'm no good at hunting rule breakers. It's not what I do. You give the orders and we will do it. We shall set an ambush near the caches. Sooner or later, someone will come to check on them. The shift foreman's thick fingers drum thoughtfully on his tool belt. If these guys are smart, they'll spot the enforcers near the cache and stay out of sight, and your lordship would be spotted even quicker. Nije, shall we have your people lie in wait? The shift foreman's voice grows quieter. I just wish I knew who to trust with it. Our villain could be anyone from the bay crew. If we pick the wrong person, we'll blow the whole ambush. We need someone from the outside who won't draw attention to ourselves. So it's kind of leading you into using the Inferni, but I don't know if they're a suspect. What if I say we'll conduct a raid? We shall conduct a raid. We'll turn the place upside down, but we'll find them. We'll spook them, your lordship. By the time the enforcers finish their search, all the rats will have scattered and covered their tracks. Ah, you get railroaded. You have to. Then we'll use the Inferni. They often carry out inspections here, no one will suspect them. Clenching his fist until his knuckles crack, Heinrich resolutely says, "We'll help. I have a couple of people in mind, tough lads. I'll get them here right away." "I'm ready. Let's catch that vermin." Heinrich smirks ominously. He throws the low stick butt on the floor and puts it out with his boot. Consider the dirtbag caught, Mukluk. Don't leave your freaking cigarettes on the floor in the engine room. Ah, yes, the illusion of choice, right? Have you lost something, friend? Let's give him a hand. Get him, boys! The man kneeling before you has an ungainly build, a stubborn jaw, and a heavy gaze. He looks no different from any other worker in his compartment, except for the tattoo on his forearm, its design resembling a worm devouring a star. One of the Infernus Masters is holding the Weber taken from the prisoner, exactly like the one that was in the cache. The Master at Arms regards the Infernus sternly. The weapon, hand it over. What you saw, keep it to yourself. She forces out the words through clenched teeth. Your cooperation with the enforcers will be noted. Heinrich does not take his eyes off the prisoner's neck, his lips twisted in distaste. Awareness 100%. The pigment of the tattoo looks fresh, standing out starkly against the color of his skin, which means that it is a very recent addition. You look closely and notice a pair of scars at the base of his neck, suspiciously reminiscent of an almost healed bite. Heinrich, you're going to burn a hole in him with that glare of yours. The interrogator slowly shakes his head. It's too early for that. Let's see what he has to say first. Who is this man? Shuv Galai, servant of the blessed Lay the Beta 2 Diligence. Low-ranking worker, easily replaceable, no apparent signs of mutation. Good work, Heinrich. Any of your people harmed? Thank you, your lordship. Not a scratch on us. He's a piece of work right enough, but he's no fuel compartment fire. More like a sparking cogitator. Sarbak glares at him with visible jealousy, but Heinrich just keeps grinning smugly. She wanted to make the arrest. Address the prisoner. Well, do you feel like talking yet? The prisoner gives you a smile of a man condemned and snaps, I've got nothing to say to you, heretic. Choking with rage, Sarbak grabs the maul from her belt. She rasps, allow me, Lord Captain. Please. Reminder that the last time we allowed her, she didn't go for a lethal hit and beat a man to death with her maul, and it was many blows. Or me. Heinrich's menacing scowl has instantly robbed him of his friendly charm. I'd be happy to oblige. I am the heretic, am I? Either fear has robbed him of reason, or he has a very skewed perspective. The prisoner jerks as if trying to point at you with his tied hands. You're a false believer, a fake captain. You're leading people into the gloom of heresy away from salvation. Cassio whispers in mesmerized horror. His soul is pale, almost colorless, but alien hues have seeped into it. Unthinkable and insane. And they came from without. Jocasta, he's all yours. Sarbak gives the prisoner a gentle smile. Did you hear that? You're mine. Time passed 1 hour. Dude, there's blood everywhere. Before the master at arms lies a groaning heap that was once a man. It shudders and lets out a gurgling sob. Stop. I'll talk. Oh my god. Sarbak looks at him with a radiant smile. The prisoner is ready to cooperate, your lordship. Whom do you serve? The cult of the ravenous star, the true believers, the righteous, the purest congregation, they who hear the songs of his angel. This angel, is that the old sorcerer who appeared before me and promised my demise? Did he brainwash you all, or is someone else leading you? Old sorcerer? No, the angel is not of the woeful human form. He is splendor. His visage is a divine inspiration of the many-armed emperor. You, faithless one, were granted the honor of gazing upon the Magus, our good shepherd, our messenger. The captive lets out a deranged chuckle. If you beheld the angel, you would scratch out your own brain throughout your eye sockets, for you would realize the depth of your wickedness before him. Many-armed? A deep furrow appears on Sauerbach's brow. Blast it. Lord Captain, we are dealing with an extremely dangerous Xenos cult that excels at hiding among humans. I fear you are right, Mr. Sarbach. This, actually, please continue. I will correct you should your information contradict credible intelligence. What do you know about our enemy? Very little. As per regulations, every Master at Arms passes on special instructions to their successor. Instructions that more resemble disturbing tales. Some of them mention genetic cults, covert clans, cliques, and sects that all share one common trait: Xenos infestation. These things pass themselves off as ordinary people, as rabble or preachers, corrupting new groups. They pray to their unholy idol, which they often refer to as the many-armed emperor. They create ever-growing families and produce offspring, hideous at first, but with each new generation, more and more human in appearance. And then, they rise up. Gene stealers. Oh! Okay, I know almost nothing about gene stealers. I think they might be related to the, what are they called? The, Tyranids? Maybe? I've heard of other people and, Warhammer fans talk about gene stealers, but I don't really know anything about them. Gene stealers. That is what these enemies of humanity are called. When such a creature bites its victim, it injects its gene into their body and dominates their mind. Or more accurately, it binds it to the shared mind of the brood. The victim undergoes no visible change, but their offspring will carry the brand of inhuman nature. Bestial maws, extra limbs, or something worse at times, horrific genetic outliers. However, the cult makes sure to keep any of their kind with unnatural appearances out of sight. After several generations, the mutants become practically indistinguishable from humans, but then something in their genes once more begets fully developed Xenos capable of beginning the cycle of infestation anew. Why the many-armed Emperor? Their arms, Lord Captain. These Xenos have more arms than normal. They twist and pervert our faith, probably for the sole reason that it gives them blasphemous pleasure. The more likely reason is it just helps them blend in. They hide their heresy behind the veil of normality. Just one more cult like so many others. Moreover, it is possible that they indeed see their deity that way. Such cultists have been known to describe their grotesque Xenos masters as beautiful during interrogations. Monsters are angels to them, and the God Emperor's worshippers are heretics. Why do they choose to act among the rabble specifically? The lower decks have plenty of dark corners for Xenos to lie in wait. Commoners are too dull-witted and spineless to identify the threat before it is too late, and at that same time they are dull-witted and spineless enough to serve as cannon fodder to be thrown at the cult's enemies when the uprising begins. The poor are less likely to pay attention to strange behavior or disappearances. Even if someone sees a genetic monster, they will chalk it up to a bad case of mutation. Meanwhile, the cult attracts the weak and injured, easy prey for their indoctrinators. In other words, it makes for a convenient staging ground. What is their objective? Power? Bloody sacrifices to their god? Their end goal is always mutiny. They can prepare for many generations, accumulating weapons and numbers until one day they attack. That day is their Day of Revelation, the apotheosis of their profane faith. They think that on that day, their blasphemous star children will descend from the void and elevate their worshippers. The creatures that infect the first victims act as scouts for a Xenos race known as Tyranids. It is Tyranids. Okay. For anyone who saw our playthrough of Space Marine 2, we were fighting a whole bunch of big bug things, and they resembled the Zerg from StarCraft. So these are relation to them. After creating a gene stealer cult, the scout evolves into something more complex, an entity called the Patriarch. The collective mind of the brood becomes a psychic beacon for the Tyranids, a beacon that marks the planet as vulnerable. Once the Xenos fleet approaches the infected world, the rebellion begins. The cult strikes the world's defenders in the back, while the Xenos devour all the life on the planet. And the cult's true believers certainly do not find the ascension they were promised. Instead, they all become a bioresource, food. Yo, I'm glad we had Heinrichs with us to explain so much of this. Do you have anything more to add, Heinrichs? I would advise you to prepare for the worst. The cult could have been operating on the ship for a long time, in which case it might already have a small army at its disposal. And I'm not talking about infiltrators with a semi-human appearance. Such cults command strong, fast monstrosities whose claws tear through metal like paper. Psychically attuned mutants linked to the brood's collective mind. Specialized abominations and elite specimens at the top of the cult's hierarchy. The enemy is dangerous and has many faces. Let us return to interrogating the prisoner. In lieu of answering, Sarback nods grimly, lost in troubling thoughts. How did the conspirators recruit you? I believed. I found him. I bowed to him. His angel's kin granted me revelation, and it entered my flesh. It let me join the congregation. The man's words devolved into nonsensical muttering. The interrogator touches his own neck in the same spot where the prisoner has his fresh scar. A sign of infection. I'm sure of it. I wish to know everything about your vile cult. We believe in the many-armed emperor, he who waits for his children, cast out into the unknowable abyss. He is kind, merciful. He uproots tyrannies of evil. He sends his angels to the righteous, and the angels' kin follow. The man lowers his gaze with an expression of surprise. It seems he has described his paltry religion in its entirety. This is a pawn, a mindless tool. He was brainwashed and forced into submission. He is not even a distributor of ideology. He was merely fed the rudiments, and without trusting him with anything important, they sent him out to serve and die. What are you plotting? A mutiny? Death! Yours? Even broken, he musters a spiteful sneer. Fake, Captain. The faithful are already aiming for your heart. I was ordered to stockpile weapons so that when the fateful hour comes, the righteous would not stand unarmed. I wouldn't say that these improvised Webbers are that much better than fighting with bare hands, but until we're done with the cleanup, every enforcer will carry a combat knife fit for cutting through nets. Where are you hiding? Where are your leaders? In a sanctuary, a tomb for heretics, a quiet place. The dynastic crypt. The vermin have infiltrated the crypt, holding the bodies of the worthiest servants of the dynasty. No one is allowed inside, save for the Lord Captain's personal retinue. And they dared? But how? The crypt's defenses are impenetrable. I presume our next objective is the Von Valancius dynastic crypt. Yes, your lordship. We must attack now while we still have the element of surprise. I will lead the strike force, but I will require your presence and Confessor Adalbert's help. Fierce machine spirits guard the dead. They won't let an armed troop pass without a direct command from the rogue traitor and the ring of the ship's confessor. I will meet you at the doors. Casting a glance at the prisoner, whispering incoherently under his breath, Sarback adds offhandedly, "And this vile scum, with your permission, I'll throw out the airlock. I doubt he will be of any further use." He has proved far more useful than I expected. He must have been in the cult for only a short time, and the psychic connection to his brethren had not taken root in his mind. No amount of torture would have loosened his tongue otherwise. Heinrichs frowns. Things are progressing too smoothly. I don't like it. Reading chat real quick. Dark-Tide characters that mention Gene Stealers very often in game. It's possible we might get a future Gene Stealer cult update in the future as well. Adem mentioned we might get the cult at a future update, but that was 2 years ago. Oh. At Mukluk, Gene Stealers have gone through lots of retcons, but they were handled pretty well by Games Workshop. I almost read GW as Guild Wars. Their full combat form has 4 arms. The funny thing is, once the Tyranids have no need for them, they order them to jump into pools of digestive acid, just like all the other Tyranid bioforms when they are not needed. The difference is that right before they hit the acid, the hive mind actually release them, so the last thing they experience is being digested alive. Oh, how nice. So, yeah, they're tools. Out of the airlock he goes. It will be done, your lordship. Okay, perfect. Almost perfect timing. It is 2:08, chat. We usually wrap it up at 2, and I do have some errands I need to run today. So, I am going to save it here, and we will continue with this DLC tomorrow.